Hello, I'm Amy Kelly. I'm a life reset and confidence coach, and I'm here to shake up your life to help you live a life beyond your wildest dreams, to push past them fears, the limited beliefs that keeping you stuck, and ultimately live a life where you feel happy and excited and full of opportunity instead of the scarcity, lack, and thinking you can't have that. So, who am I? So, if you're new to me, I reset my life at the age of around 27. You might sound like, yeah, but you were still young, Amy. Like you had the whole life ahead of you. And I don't really think we should put age as a number. Like, no matter what age you're at, if you reset your life or do something differently or challenge yourself, that is a life reset and it's not easy to navigate. So I left the UK at the age of like 27 and decided to go on like a one-way adventure to really rediscover myself. Now, on that journey, I made a lot of mistakes. I didn't really know what to do. But ultimately, below all of that, as I've been unraveling over these last couple of years and working on myself, I realized the thing I didn't have was self trust. I had a voice that said, an inner voice that said to me, like, Amy, you are meant for so much more. What do I do with that? I could have stayed in the UK, could have got a house, could have got a regular job. I decided in that moment that that was a very life defining moment that I wanted to leave. I wanted to go and find something for me. And that's where I booked a one way flight. So I did have the inner voice there because I made that change. But I also didn't feel like I had that much self trust because beyond that journey, it was a bit of a wild ride. And I do the work that I do and I coach women through the messy middle, the heartbreak, because not only have I navigated it, I've navigated it a way that I've rebuilt a life that I truly do love. Like this morning, for example, I could never have imagined the older Amy doing what I did. I got up at maybe like 7 or 8, did my reading, primed my mind for the day ahead, went for a lovely walk with my parents down to the beach here in Spain. I've had a slow morning, and then I get to create my podcast. I get to talk with my clients. I get to create things that I want to create. And we are here as creative beings. We are here to co create, to make that life, to build something and not live in this box that we set in our own minds, unfortunately. And I couldn't. I didn't see my life any different. I had the house, the marriage, the car, everything that I thought I was set for life. And then when that changed, I was like, oh, now I'm alone. How do I rebuild? Nobody comes to you and gives you a book and says, this is how you're going to rebuild your life. That's it. Off you go. No, if anything, life's just going to keep throwing things in your face, like one after another after another. Like I had a near death experience. I had things that really didn't make sense in my life. I hit rock bottom. And that's why this for me is like, it's a soul mission that I don't want other women to go through some of the things I had to go through, some of the hardships and rebuilding that self trust, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So, not having self trust is very expensive. Why are so many women who are high achievers, who are capable, who are smart, are still staying stuck in the same place for years, in the wrong relationship, not serving them, really too scared to make any sort of changes? And the real reason that's costing you your life right now, ultimately, because the suppression that we're putting on our nervous system of like, oh, I can't do that thing, and the pain and the anxiety that you've stored in your body for all these years might not feel too much right now, but in time, that is causing more problems than maybe you realize. The energy that you are burning just on the wrong things of like creating that anxiety loop that you're stuck in. And maybe you're not there right now. Maybe you just can't seem to build that self-trust with yourself. And this relates to every aspect, I believe, in your life because I've worked on myself. I know what works and what doesn't. I've done a lot of things. I've done the inner work. I've worked on my money mindset. I've worked on my confidence, my self-trust. And all of this is work. It takes work every single day. I mean, coaching in general is periods of time. Like mine is 3 to 6 months because the brain, unfortunately, likes to be in safety. It wants to go back to what it knows. So this is why it's stretchy. We have to work on it over a period of time to see the results. Nothing is overnight. No success is overnight. Doesn't matter what anybody says, it doesn't. I've been doing this personal development journey now for 3 years and I'm just getting started. But it's an exciting journey to be on. And when I look back at my journey of when I had to rebuild that self trust, I remember sitting at the top of the stairs of this house that we'd built and I was lost. I didn't look very good, if I'm honest, in the mirror. I looked drawn out. I was anxious, very scared, cried a lot, phoning home, like, what do I actually do with this next chapter? Where do I go? I didn't have the house anymore. I didn't have the car. And yes, I'm lucky in one way that I get to go back to a family home. So in that sense, I was safe, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. And I was like, what do I actually do? And in that moment, it was the hardest part of my life. I remember, I vividly, it takes me back every moment to that moment I got on that flight and I left the UK. And until this day, I haven't looked back since. But I cried all of that way. I thought, why does my life have to change? Why me? What did I do? Like everyone else is getting on with their lives, yet me, I'm like taking the biggest risk of my entire life, flipping it on upside down and having to rebuild again from nothing, zero. Why? And I had some really hard times in that journey, but in that journey, it rebuilt me to be unshakable. And that's why I created the Unshakable Woman. I knew there was a gap. I knew there was something that was missing when I needed the help, when I needed that support. And this is why so many women tell me, like, Amy, I'm so confused. Like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I can't make a decision. I feeling so disconnected. I don't know what my dream life is. I keep people pleasing. I'm seeking support in so many other people. I don't recognize myself. And to me, it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. So what ultimately made me change and my clients that I've seen that have changed isn't the strategy work. It isn't like, hey, do this thing and that's going to work for you, because we are all individual. We're all very different. We all learn and see things in different ways. But ultimately, it's a choice you've made with yourself where you say, well, it's a combination of things, but ultimately you say, that's enough. That is enough. I'm choosing something different, a different thought, a different way to live, a different outcome of the life that I'm creating. That's ultimately what changed. I went through recently a season of my life where I went through another heartbreak and I had to reset. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to handle this one differently, from the divorce to this breakup, to not go out and party, to look at with my emotions, to sit with them, be okay with the sadness, the overwhelm, the fear that comes through, and be okay with it. Like, I'm not exactly where I want to be in my entire life. Like, this is not the end goal. I feel like I'm still in that in between season of, creating. I'm in the creating season. So towards a beautiful life. I mean, that is freedom at the same time. A beautiful home, a partner, soul aligned, love, relationships, more of them, more and more and more. But do you know where I sit with all of this? Gratitude. Gratitude will become your best friend. Now, most people wake up, not saying that as you, but most people wake up with what they don't have. I don't have this. I don't have that. That doesn't work out for me. But the mind likes to, wake up and go into that stress zone straight away. Like, oh, look at all the things I have to do today. I'm so behind. I can't do this. Where do we calm it down? Where do we regulate the nervous system? My practices that I create, I don't say this from beyond. Like, I say this for me right now. This is what I do. And this is what's helped me in my foundations. Once you have a solid foundation, you can rebuild your life. You've got to start here first. It's one step at a time, gradual steps. This is not an overnight success. Just because you see somebody blow up on Instagram or they've done this or look at how much money they have, you have no idea what's gone on behind the scenes. You have no idea what life path they've had before they showed that to you. So comparison is out of the window. Like, we are not comparing to anybody else. My journey is very different to your journey. You may not have to go through the things that I did to get there. But we do have similarities because my mind ultimately in the morning is still training. I'm still in the training mode. So we go straight to priming my mind. What am I grateful for today? My health, my happiness, my family are here, the food that I have in the fridge, the roof over my head, the job that I have created that no one will ever take away from me. I am healthy, I am happy, and I am grateful. Yes, affirmations don't work if you don't believe them. No, they don't. You can say you're happy till you're blue in the face, but if you're like, I'm not happy, it's not going to work. So where do we go with that? We have to start working on them limited beliefs. Why are you not happy? What's really holding you back? That's what we have to work on. This is the inner work. And this is what I really work on in the 3 to 6 months that I have created in the Unshakable Woman, because you cannot see your own limits. You cannot see the blind spots that you're going through, because sometimes we're so tunnel visioned on the journey ahead and we're going in the same direction, but actually getting nowhere. So, how do we come getting a mentor, getting somebody in your life who will say, hey, you're here, you want to be here, but where do we go? What is the gap there? And I can't see my own sometimes. That's why I have mentorship. And I will wholeheartedly have this for the rest of my life. One of the best investments I've ever made is on myself, from traveling to new opportunities, new friendships, new mentors, new people, finding my group. That's what changed some of the times in my life, and being grateful and lots of other things. But to start with, right now, if I was you, I get super clear about where I am. Where am I in my life? I can't say that any clearer. Be clear about where you are. Don't hold back. Don't lie either. Don't say, oh, I would like to be here. I believe in. No, where are you? Where is your love? Where is your relationships? Where is your money? Put it all down on a piece of paper. And if you get upset, allow the tears to come through, allow the frustration, allow that to come through. Do not hold it back and say, okay, this is where I am. Awareness is a number one key that I don't hear anybody talk about. When you are aware of your situation, then we can start making steps towards a different life or a different mindset that requires that. And it all comes down to a couple of things: the mind, the body, and the spirit. The more I've started on this journey, you can take a look at my Instagram. I'll tag it below. And I've just had a post that's had like nearly 700,000 views. This time last year, I had no views. The capabilities of that, how did I manage to grow to that amount? I believe that we are all guided. We all have an intuition. We're all co creating with the universe. Now, the more I have trusted in the faith, whether you want to call it the universe, God, the Holy Spirit, whatever's out there, we're not alone in this journey. And the more you can lean on that for support and guidance, the easier things will be, because you are not doing this alone. The things that are happening for a reason. The people are removed from your life for a reason. Opportunities will come. Maybe they will come in a very quick way, like an opportunity or a conversation. And if you're not quick enough to grab that, it will leave again. So you have to look out for the signs of like, that's for me, or that isn't for me. And this is why self-trust is one of the most important journeys you will ever go on. I hope you can see that I'm passionate about this. I hope you can see that means so much to me. And after spending the weekend with some ladies that I've met here, and then I started to realize again that like how much of the self-trust I've had in myself. Even they said, Amy, wow, like the things you've been through and the confidence you've built, you should be so proud of yourself. And I probably should give myself more credit, but Virgo in me, I'm quite harsh, I'm quite critical about my own self. And yes, I am proud. No doubt about it. I'm so proud that I left a life behind that was not the line for me. But the journey that I'm going on is expanding me so much that even I can't keep up. But it's also an exciting journey. And this is why I'm here to help you and guide you and support you in your next chapter. So if you would like to learn more about the Unshakable Woman, this is a 3-month journey with me. We start at 3 months, but you can upgrade to the 6-month because, like I say, this work takes time. We look at the self-belief, we work on inner child, them things that are really holding you back from that next chapter. Now, I'm a huge manifester. I believe in manifesting the law of attraction. Trust me, some amazing things have happened in my life. But I also don't believe you can do that from a dysregulated nervous system. If you're in anxiety, you're overwhelmed, you're nervous, you're living in fear, that manifestation will not come through. And I can tell you that firsthand. So, first step is regulation. So, I teach you that. I'll have guest experts in. I have some of the best coaches and mentors around me who are going to come in and do some speaks because I don't know everything. But you're going to learn from some of the best people out there. And I'm all about the co-creation, helping one another. The community is there. Maybe it isn't for you right now, but if maybe you know somebody and listen to this thinking, I know somebody who could do with this right now. Share it with them. Be that guidance, be that support for them. You know, everybody needs to lean on somebody. Even the strongest ones need holding. So I'll leave you with that. You are one decision away from a different life. One decision, one opportunity. Maybe this could be it. I'll leave you with that. But I wish you to keep dreaming big, keep them possibilities alive in your mind.